2025 is absolutely flying by, and I know that's a cliche everyone uses, but it's actually extremely true in this case for the Mattel Disney Cars diecast line. Way more so than in years past because we are already at case Y. In fact, the case we're revealing today, yes, that's case Y, has already been found in Malaysia, and it's not even July yet. So you have case X and Y already hitting parts of the world. I am sure they will start creeping into the major markets here soon. And this case isn't even scheduled until September. That's right, it's not even July yet, and this case isn't scheduled until September 1st of this year. What is going on? Why are we so far ahead of schedule? Does Mattel just want to get this year over with and on to the 20th anniversary year being 2026? We know they like to start putting stuff out for the following year in about October, November of the prior year. It's just crazy to me. I mean, we look back to the previous year, right? 2024. Where were we at in mid-June, early July? Case G and case H. So about the 6th and 7th cases of the year. Here we are, 2025 with case X and Y. Those are the 10th and 11th cases of the year. So it is just uncanny. It is bizarre. It is unusually far in advance, but we'll take it. I mean, new cars in a flurry. I'm here for it. Today, guys, if you didn't already catch on, we're revealing 2025 singles case Y. I'm excited. If you couldn't tell, this case scheduled for September 1st. That's bogus. It's already out in Malaysia. Now, that's a minor market. We'll see when it actually comes to Australia, the US, etc. But I would assume it's going to be sooner than September 1st. The final case, case Z, is scheduled for October 1st, and I will be revealing that on August 1st, as we usually do. We stick to the schedule. If you intend to reshare these contents, please refer back to this video. I'd really, really appreciate it. Let's start tearing through these contents. While this is an awesome case, I'm sure you're looking at the thumbnail, there is a lot of fluff that we need to get through here. Let's start with Road Trip Lightning McQueen. And you know what? I'm just going to break up the McQueens this time. Usually I kind of rifle through all of them at once just to get them out of the way, but screw it. We're just going to mix it up today. Next up is Fillmore. I always have good things to say about Fillmore. I like the fact that he's a lot of metal. He's pretty heavy compared to some of these other guys. Then you have one Rust-eze Lightning McQueen. So it didn't take too long to get back to a McQueen, but whatever. At least it's only one. Here we have a slew of piston cut racers. One Floyd Mulvihill for Gasprin, one Dave Alternators for Revolting, and one Claude Scruggs for Leakless. So all three of these have been around since last year because, like I said, Mattel begins the next year in the current year, if that makes sense. So 2025 stuff started coming out in November-ish of last year. All three of these were in those early two cases, N and P. Dave being an N, the other two being in P, to be specific. And here we are, another Lightning McQueen. This one, the Cryptid Buster variety, one that is always welcome for me. It's a really nice variant. He's got the antenna, the roof rack, the light bar on the front there. It's a nice one. It's overlooked. I think it's really underrated. Not too many people talk about it. Whenever they talk about variants of McQueen, they talk about Space Creature, Deputy Hazard, etc. This one's really nice though too. However, it has been this is like its third case of the year, so nothing too wild there. Also, third case of the year, we have Pit Crew Sarge, full name being Pit Crew Member Sarge, but they have abbreviated it down to Pit Crew Sarge, so they have less to translate on the cards. I understand, but it's annoying as a longtime collector who remembers when Sarge came out in the Final Lap collection in 2010 with the full Pit Crew Member Sarge name. But either way, he's back. This was his first time being released from Thailand this year. However, I can confirm this because I've opened him up. I've done the video. I just haven't posted it yet. He's not that different. He's quite similar. I'm not saying don't watch that video when it comes out, but the video will just come out. It's kind of just a procedural thing anyways. I was reviewing Race and Rescue Sarge. I'm like, I really should do Pit Crew Sarge here as well. But I'm putting that video off for a month at least so that we put some breathing room in between all these Sarge variants. Back to the Piston Cup squad, we have Chuck Armstrong for Mood Springs. Happy to see him back. Actually, I'm not. He's been in like 4 cases this year. However, he definitely peg warms the least out of Floyd, Dave, Claude, and even Ernie Gearson. Sticking with the Piston Cup theme, but moving over to crew chief, we have Masha Ellswrench. Now, why is this a big deal, guys? Masha was in Case U. She was a brand new character, brand new release. Not that rare, considering she's now also in the 2-pack with Megan Shifter, so hopefully you have a chance to obtain her via those routes. If you didn't, she's back here in Case Y. That's not even though why it's so special. I mean, Masha's the only Cars 1 new release of the year. There's a lot going for Masha, and she was just recently perfected. This case will see the correction of her artwork from the inaccurate pickup truck model, the model that JW and Mandy Frudenbender used, that same pose, that same animation that they just repurposed. Now we know temporarily for Masha Ellswrench until they received or somehow spawned in this correct artwork you're looking at here on the screen, courtesy of a Malaysian Cars collector in Toys R Us. And yes, that is the person who has found this case, the only person who have found it so far, and his name is Balvarin Singh. So there you go. There's your shout out. Thank you for supplying that. That is a humongous revelation. You guys know how much I complained about the artwork in many videos. Any chance I got, any video related to Masha, I complained about it. I know you guys did too. A lot of people, I mean, literally people in my comments, all caps, screaming. I love the passion. It's corrected now. It's great. Basically, Sage Vanderspin from 2020. However, hopefully not as rare as Sage Vanderspin from 2020. The corrected version of that, there's only like 3 in existence. We're hoping for at least 4 of this one. But yeah, jokes, obviously, this should be a mass release. But very great. That's awesome. I'm so happy that Mattel did that. The artwork is the same as the RPM crew chief. Let's actually take note of that. But it is rotated 180 degrees. You put it in the Microsoft Word, you do a rotate 180, you change the color, you change the wheel color, you change out the logos. It's a quick Photoshop. Really should have been done the first time around, but we'll take it. Speaking of Case U, Cho is back for her first time after Case U. That is a new Thailand variant. Mather with Sign is in this case as well. It's his third case after debuting in Case Q. You have Slim Hood, who's also third case it is, Slim being an N, T, and now Y. One of the rare releases of this year, kind of under the radar because of the fact that he's not in the Walmart versions of the cases. That's problematic. In fact, I don't even think case, was it no? Yes, it was N. Yes, it was N. N didn't even hit Walmart. T did in droves, and Slim was not in it. So Slim, kind of a rare release. Even though it's not his first, definitely not his first Thailand, because he came out when Thailand was making stuff. Then we have 1 regular Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, and we have 2 Race and Rescue Lightning McQueens, as to be expected. They have been spamming us with these Race and Rescue McQueens ever since his debut in Case V. Don't believe me? Well, there were 2 in Case V. There was... Hold on. Case W. Surely he was in Case W, right? Oh, yeah, there. I'm blind. There are 2 in Case W, 2 more in Case X, and then 2 more in Case Y. So similarly to GRC McQueen last year, in which there were, I believe, 11 through the final 5 cases of the year, because they started out with 3 of them in one case. At least they didn't do that this year. There will be 8 through 4 cases, and should I spoil it? Yeah, it's actually 10 through 5 cases, because he's in Z2 twice. Yippee. Speaking of doubles, there are 2 of the King in this case. So the King now a popular choice to double up on. If we think back a couple cases to W, there are 2 of him in that case. And 2 of Cam Spinner, another one they've doubled up on before in Case U. So multiple cards that debuted in Case U coming back in this case, multiple cards who have been doubled up on before, Cam and King, that aren't necessarily very very relevant. Like they're not McQueen, they're not Sally, they're not, new releases. So I don't know why they're doubling up on them twice now in the same year. It doesn't make sense to me, especially for Cam Spinner, who is probably going to pegworm with this release. But now on to the new stuff. I know it's taken 10 minutes to get here, but that's what I do. I build suspense, ready for the climax. Let's get into it. You have one Race and Rescue Morgan Martins, parentheses rescaled, because we have to remember, as with Race and Rescue Red, this is a deluxe character being shrunk down to the single size scale, whatever Mattel really deems that to be. I mean, there's not a measure of how much it's getting rescaled. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait and see, compare him to his original release, which was in 2017 as a deluxe, as a super chase. Only a handful of deluxe super chases in existence. You have Globey, Sergeant High Gear, Bud, Circus Pickup, Circus Semi, probably forgetting someone. You guys will remind me. That's what you're there for. Thank you. But yeah, Morgan Martins is back. I actually like his inclusion in this series, but am disappointed that he's going to be rescaled. For Red, at least, you can make the argument he was being rescaled to a scale he was at for 5 years, from 2006 to 2010. With Morgan, you can't. He was released once as a deluxe, a very large one, in fact. It's not like an Alexis Wheelson situation from 2016, where it's like, it probably could have been a single. For Morgan Martins, no, this was a big character. A lot of plastic because that back portion is plastic. I'm sure them rescaling him down, they're not making that metal. That's still going to be plastic. This is going to be a pretty light character. Still looks, he's large, but he's not a deluxe. He's not going to be as big as he once was, and that's upsetting. That being said, I like his artwork. First time we've seen that, because 2017, you didn't get any artwork that year. And yeah, I'll take it, I guess. But hey, maybe a 2-pack Morgan Martins full scale with a Guido or a Luigi would have been nice. Although I think that might have been too small. I really think the 2-pack only works for Red in order to maintain that scale. Next up, we have one of Race and Rescue Jeff Gorvette. Perhaps one of the best releases of the year. Not that the bar is set that high. The bar is literally like Jonathan Gearson. Maybe Masha Ellswrench. So we'll see how he actually turns out when I review him. The decals look a little strange. There are some weird gaps, like there was, I believe there was someone who I was like, that looks strange. Maybe it was Jackson Storm. Maybe it was McQueen. I think it actually might have been McQueen in terms of the rally racers. But yeah, he looks fine. I just feel that if one of the best releases of the year is a non-canon variant, character we should have gotten last year in the GRC line, it's like, where are we at? Like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? But relative to this year, this is pretty awesome, and I'm excited to pair him with Cal Weathers when he eventually comes out, which process of elimination, I'm sure you can figure that out. And to conclude, you have 2 Race and Rescue Sallys. So yes, that's 2 Race and Rescue characters and a Rally Race character. So Rally Race Jeff, Race and Rescue Morgan, and Sally here. Sally, there's 2 of them. That's great. Great job, Mattel. Makes sense because they usually include, or they sometimes include 2 of just normal Sally. She's got the cone roof rack there, kind of like an amplified version of Sally with Cone from way back when. Obviously, fun little moment in the movie as well. So yeah, there you have Case Y. Let me know in the comments below, who's your favorite from this case? Who do you think will be your favorite? I think mine will be Jeff, but I could kind of see it end up being Morgan Martins. If Masha was new to this case, it would be her, and it wouldn't even be close, especially with that corrected artwork. Sally, I don't anticipate liking all that much. I think she looks goofy. I think the mixed wheels on a Race and Rescue vehicle look a little strange. They look good on Jeff, not so much on Sally. But we'll see, guys. I have an open mind to all of this stuff. I'm excited. I hope I can get this to unbox within the next couple months here. We still have Case X, obviously, in between this and Y, this time and Y. Hopefully that comes soon as well, because that's got Eugene Carbureski, a character, a car I think we're all very much so looking forward to. But that's all I have for this case reveal video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, what the hell else do I have to hold you for? That was a long case reveal, but lots to discuss as per usual. Every single time there's more because time passed. There's more lore, more to discuss. Bye now.